Hey guys, welcome to the installation and demo video of the Among Us Automute, or automute.us. It depends on what you decide to call it. So this is going to be a video just detailing the installation and then kind of showing off the features and what's new in this release. So we're going to be starting from scratch, so if you don't have a previous release of this program, that's totally fine. We're going to start from scratch and do everything from scratch. So first of all, I wanted to do a couple PSA announcements. We do not support pirated or cracked versions of Among Us, so don't bother asking. The code is open source. You're more than welcome to tinker with it and fiddle with it and try and see if you can get it to work, but it's not something that we support, both from an ethical standpoint but also a technical standpoint. We kind of just can't develop code that's going to have to work with all these different versions of the cracked versions of the game. At its core, we really only support the official Steam version of Among Us. Mobile players can join the Discord server and they'll still be muted, but the person running the capture software needs to have the Steam version of Among Us. So no itch.io, no mobile. The host person running this capture software needs to be on Steam. So that's the biggest question we always get asked. The second thing, as far as updates, what I'm showing right here is version 2.3.0. This software is constantly being updated. So if all else fails, just download the latest release. You can see this by when you go to the repository. If you're on the repository, over here on the right side, it'll say releases. You can just click this and it'll pull up the order of all the releases. So right now the latest release is 2.3.0, but this will update and you're more than welcome to we would recommend that you download the latest version, the most recent version. So these version numbers might be different, but the core idea of installation should be exactly the same. That's another question we get asked a lot. The last one, please do not ask questions in the YouTube comments. I will not be answering those. We answer so many, dozens of the same questions on our Discord. I straight up don't have the time to be able to answer every single question that people have in the YouTube comments, so I will be linking our Discord. That's where we have support. We have people that are willing to help you, and a lot more eyes will be able to see your questions, and people have had the same questions on there a lot of times, so you can find previous solutions there. So I will not be answering YouTube comments. Please post in our Discord. That's our main support channel. Cool. So with all that PSA stuff out of the way, let's jump into how to get started and how to install this. So the first thing that we're going to do is we're going to go to the Discord developer portal. So if you guys have done the setup before, you're pretty familiar with the process. I kind of recommend starting from scratch, just because it's a little bit easier to verify that everything's from scratch and working properly if you're doing it from scratch. But if you have a previous bot setup, it should work fine with your previous bot token if you've already done the setup. So you can go ahead and call your application whatever. And by the way, the link to this will be in the description of this YouTube video. But it's discord.com/developers/applications. So we made a new application. And then when we're in the application, the first thing we're going to do is we're going to go down to bot over here on this tab on the left side. We're going to go ahead and add a bot. Cool. So this is the actual bot that we need to do all this integration stuff. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to pull up a notepad. I'm just going to pull up something where I can copy and paste this token. So this is important. Copy the token. Do not copy the client secret. We want the token from the bot tab. So go ahead and copy that and just paste it somewhere for now. This won't be valid because I'm going to delete this app after this video rolls out. But just paste that somewhere just so you have it for later. Cool, so we're done with that. Next thing we can do, let me verify we're done with that. Next thing we can do is go to the OAuth 2 tab, and then in this tab what we're going to want to do is we're going to want to select bot and select administrator. So I've said this in the previous videos, for now we're doing administrator permissions because we're not 100% positive of all the permissions that the final bot will have. There's random permissions that we've been throwing in and removing over time. So for now we're going to default to administrator permissions. But once we select bot, administrator, we're going to go ahead and copy this URL in this field here, open up a new tab, go ahead and paste it. And what it's going to do is it's going to give you an OAuth 2 code grant. And then you're going to select whichever server you want it added to. So I made a brand new Discord server just called test server. That's the one that I'm going to want to add this bot to. Go ahead and authorize, do the CAPTCHA, do all the normal stuff. And then actually if we pull up my Discord over here with our test Discord, we can see that the test bot shows up. So it's successfully a member of our Discord now. Cool. So now that that's authorized, we can close this window our tab. We're done. Unless I've forgotten something, I think we're done. We're done with all this information. So we've set up the basic Discord bot, all that stuff is good to go. Now what we want to do is, I guess I'll keep that maximized, why not? Now what we want to do is we want to go to the latest release page. As I said, the patch numbers might be different, but in its core we want to download this .exe file, amongusdiscord.exe, and then make sure to keep that. And then If the release doesn't happen to have a final.txt, you can scroll through and download one from a previous version. They're pretty much always the exact same. They just have some basic contents, but this one we have provided one. It's really, really straightforward contents, but go ahead and download that as well. So then we're going to do, I'm going to pull up my downloads folder, and just to keep everything organized, I'm going to go ahead and make a folder. I'm just going to call it AU for now, and I'm just going to throw this stuff in there just to keep things a little bit more organized. But if we're in this folder, the first thing we want to do is we want to open up this final.txt, and we want to copy this token that we copied down earlier. So we just want to copy that whole thing, make sure you select the whole thing, no extra spaces, and just paste it right here. So we should have Discord bot token equals, and then your really long token. So go ahead and save that. Control S or manually save. Close down both of these, don't need that anymore. So then, just to verify our final.txt has these contents, then we should be good to go to start up our Discord bot. Make sure to give it permissions. You're more than welcome to compile this code from source. If you don't trust the exes that we provide you, we've built them from source ourselves. But if you weren't super confident about that, feel free to build the code from source. We have instructions on the README as to how to do that. Cool. So with these releases, the emojis are added manually. When we want to host this bot for everyone, so they don't have to, make the Discord bot and the Discord bot developer portal. They don't have to go through all this process. You won't need to do this because we can just host the emojis on our server, and when you add it to yours, all Discord bots have Nitro, so they can access the emojis. But for now, it adds all the emojis manually to your server. So sometimes this can cause issues because the Discord API is incredibly slow to update and show you all the emojis that are available. So it looks like they're available, it looks like pretty much all of them have been added, but sometimes when we type this initial command, and by the way, we can see that our bot is online and looking through the stuff, it's online. Sometimes the emojis aren't loaded up immediately. In this case, they actually are, so we're lucky. So they all show up as reactions to this message, but sometimes it can take a long time. So sometimes if they don't get added, if you don't see the emojis on this message, just close everything down, wait a while. Sometimes we've even had users had to wait up to like 30 minutes or so. I know it sucks. It's not our bot's fault. There's not much we can do when we use the emojis for linking, but just close it down and come back to it later. It can take a while for all these emojis to show up and for the bot to be able to detect them. Again, not our fault. It's Discord's fault, but in the future this won't be a problem when we host the bot for everyone. Cool. So we typed .aun for short, which is .au new, which is we want to make a new game. And what you'll see is that we have a lobby open, but there's no capture linked, and you need to click the link in your DMs. So I'm not sure if you saw, but we received a DM, a direct message from the bot. And so what it does is it sends us a message with a link to link the capture, but it also sends us the links to actually download the capture. So with this new version, it's a little bit easier. You can just click directly with these links. These just link to the latest release of the 32-bit executable for the capture software. It's a little bit easier if people don't have to navigate around GitHub and find it that way. But yeah, it's officially downloaded the capture. If you don't have .NET Core installed, I think this is the 32-bit version. We're doing 32-bit for both for consistency. You can also click this link. This will take you to the Microsoft.NET website, and you can download .NET Core there. So if you don't have that already, or if the program complains, you'll want to click that and make sure you download and install this as well. Cool. But now that we've got that stuff downloaded, I guess I probably shouldn't have closed that, but now that we've got that downloaded, I already have .NET installed, so I can delete that, but we can move the capture to that folder to keep everything organized. And what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and start up the capture. And so what I'm going to do here is, it's going to look a little weird, but I'm actually going to start up the capture. We see this red line actually indicating that it's not linked to the capture to the Discord, and that's normal. I'm actually just going to close this right away because we're showing off a new feature with this. You need to register the capture one time, but after you've opened the capture at least once, when you click on this link, it should automatically open the capture for you, and it will also link. So now we see the bar is green, so all the information is sent, and then if we go back to our test server, we can see that the lobby is open and we're successfully linked to the capture. So I opened the capture one time just to make sure that it registers with Windows for that file extension. This is technical details, but it has to register that file extension. But yeah, if we go back to the server, yeah, it all linked, and it started up the capture for us, and it's automatically linked. So then if we go into our actual Among Us game, if we hopped into a voice channel, for example, let me go ahead and mute, and then we were to start an online game, then we're good to go. And in fact, so we showed off there's a couple new features here. So the room code automatically gets updated along with the region. We recommend starting the capture from the main menu. It's a little bit more consistent, but it should work if you start it from the lobby as far as updating this room code and region goes. But that's a brand new feature. Another feature is we have Discord username and in-game name pairing. So you can see my name in-game is Soup, as well as this applies to both your username but also your nickname, if this was your nickname. It will automatically pair you so long as you're in the voice channel. So if you're in the voice channel and then you join a lobby, it'll automatically pair you up, and then all the normal functionality that you'd expect from the old versions. Cool. So yeah, now we are good to go. Everything's linked. Normal functionality as you guys would expect from the other releases. You can look at AU help for a little bit more details about all the settings and stuff that you have available. We do have a formal new AU settings command. So Giorgio made this. This is really cool. So you can update your settings while the game is going instead of having to update this config file that has a lot of your other settings. So you can edit it directly that way. I know this is a lot to run through, especially if you're new to this application, but feel free to hop into our Discord if you have any general questions as to how this stuff all works. But yeah, so as far as general usage goes, you can type .AUR or refresh, and it'll retype the status message. If we were to have more users in the voice channel and everything going along, then we'd be good to go. I have some other copies of the game running, but I won't bother linking. But yeah, the core functionality is there, and once people are linked, they would be appropriately muted and unmuted as you'd expect. So yeah, that's pretty much it. I know this is kind of a long video. I just wanted to get a lot of the stuff out of the way that we've covered in our Discord and stuff that's come up over time. But yeah, that's the basics of the Discord Among Us Automute. I don't even know what to call our app anymore. But yeah, thanks guys. Feel free to hit us up in the Discord if you have any questions. If you have installation problems, I highly recommend you just watch this video in detail and make sure that you're following each step exactly. I went through pretty fresh setup with a brand new Discord server, brand new bot, everything. So just make sure you're following all the steps, step by step, and make sure everything's working. But yeah, that's it. Thanks guys. Peace.